As a Christian, there is something I noticed, right? And I noticed this in Christendom. I noticed this in the church, right? We have a lot of people in church. You know these people. These people have, as a matter of fact, as a pastor, you know these people have been in your church for years, and things are not going well with them. What has been your contribution? I think I've done this kind of video before, but the thing is, I don't know why it keeps bothering me. What has been your contribution to those people? For me, it's sacrilege for you to have someone who attends your church and cannot pay their children's school fees. It's an abomination. It's bad. It's very bad for you to have a member that has been very, very consistent in church, that has been with you for years, and yet that person is begging people, probably other local assembly members, for help, for food, and all of that. It's very bad. I think this is what I don't like in Christianity. That's what I'm saying. It is bad. I know some pastors are doing their best, but I still feel they're not doing it as much as they should. Back in the days, from the church I was raised then, if you don't have anything, nobody actually cares about you. The only thing they care is, why did you not come to church? Why this thing, oh, okay, maybe you were absent in church for maybe twice or anything, and they come visiting. The only thing they offer is prayers. Nothing else. And that's why you see a lot of people misbehaving. You see a lot of people saying things about church these days, and you're like, don't get it wrong. For me, the safest place for me to be in, especially when I'm down, now I'm talking about emotionally, not when I'm in need, is the church. I won't lie. The church I attend, I get the healing. You get? I won't lie. It's one of the best places. That's why sometimes when you're down, sometimes I tell, go to church. If I go to church, you'll give me money. Let's go to church. It will help you calm. But now, aside church, now, pastor, this your members, pastor's wife, how far have you been able to help? I've noticed even in church, one of the most heartless, in fact, the heartless people in the world most times are those ones you see in church. Not all of them, that call themselves leaders. See, I've had my own fair share of wickedness from people in church. I have my own fair. If I dissed you, you will be shocked. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm not going to church again. But sometimes, because of the kind of person I am and my love for God, I'm like, how would I not go to church because of this person? I feel people in church, not just pastors alone, but even leaders in church should be doing well. It would be sad for it to be that someone in your local assembly stopped attending church because of you. It will be sad, be it because you were very unkind to them, because you were never understanding and all of that. It will be very, very sad. I had this church member that I look up to, like their husband and wife, mature people I look up to as elders. They do me. See, I don't even want to say what it is. Each time I remember it like this, I want to cry. I want to cry. Now, they didn't SA me, but they made me started looking at the religion as, why am I even here? But what kept me was, I was actually born and raised in a church. You get? Those things were things that still held me like this. I'm like, no, I know God for myself already. Now imagine if I wasn't raised in church. I didn't know God for myself like I should. I would probably have gone out, maybe go to another church, or probably start another religion. And that's why most times I don't even blame people that you see today. They change from this religion to another religion. Sometimes a lot of people you hold accountable, like people you look up to, have really, they've really hurt you. Now it takes someone who is spiritually mature to actually look at those people and move on. Honestly. Some people have been, now it's not just pastors suffering alone. Some members have their own stories to tell. To be honest. Some members have their own experiences with churches as well. Now, in church there is power. In church there is healing. In church, at least you hear the word of God. Why is it that you that is preaching the word of God, you don't even practice what you preach? You don't practice what you teach. And that's why I respect some people, right? I respect some people, not all. And don't ask me why I don't respect some people. No. I could say hi to you from afar. But, and I know it's also like that with a lot of people who have had one or two experiences in the church. Now, let me tell you simple things you can do to help people in your church. As a pastor, or as a leader in church, or as someone who is well to do, capable to do. Sometimes learn to carry people along. There are churches who do that. They actually carry their members along. I've seen that. There are churches who do that. Some pastors don't even think of that at all. All they know is they just come and preach. How are you? Fine. Yeah. You don't ask, what do you do for a living? Do you have anything you're doing? How do you cook? You don't ask those questions. Yet you call yourself ministers of God. Yes, you call yourself child of God. And that's why sometimes you see most people going against them, behaving unruly in some way. You see some pastors doing some things in church that you'll be like, why is this pastor even doing like this? A lot needs to be done in church. If you notice in Nigeria, for instance, the church is one of the most wealthiest organization. But yet, I'm still here to see churches that give loans to members to do businesses, soft loans. Like, you can do this, or even improve people's businesses. Okay, take this and add to your business. I'm still here to see those churches. It's very rare to get. These things are things you can do. And when those people become very, very big, they still return back to the church and help other people. Let there be help. Let there be help. Let there be help. When your member goes out to an unbeliever and that unbeliever help them, how would they regard you? You say, oh, who helped me? Who helped me even be the church? Help me. But as a pastor, you are called to be of help too, to be a father, to be a leader. Leadership comes with a lot of responsibilities. It's so sad when you see people in the church and they're just going to church, they're just existing and little or nothing, little or no help. Some people go to church and their children don't go to school. And nobody's asking, are your kids in school or nothing? I believe me as a pastor, I'm not a pastor anyway, but I believe as a pastor you should have some sense of discernment to be like, no, things are not well here, or things are not going on here. You will know, unless if you don't just want to ask. I think this is something I just want to point out in Christendom. Christianity is beautiful. If only we can start helping. If only we can start helping people. If only we can start helping. Now, a lot of people do the ones that they will do so that people will see. You hardly do individual, You hardly do for individuals. That's another problem. Look down to your church. Look down. At least decide. Let me take 4 or 5 people in a year and make their life meaningful. If it's trade, what trade do you want to learn? I'll go and learn trade and make sure that person learns it for years. And then you settle them. If they're doing, let's say, one, skill or the other, empower them as well. They will not leave church. That you see Jagger today shouting, preaching, doing this, it's because he was empowered by the church. If Jagger was not empowered by the church, he won't be there. You won't see him screaming and shouting and defending his pastor. Yes, and that's why I see most of these pastors like this. Your members like this will not be even able to defend you like that 100%. Because of what? You've not done anything for them. Like you're not even part of their growth at all. All your concern is taking. You want to just take, bring, take. By the time you see the person don't change car, you're expecting a lot. The only thing you will say you contributed in the person's life is you prayed. How about helping? How about moral support? Some of you pastors might not have money. What about moral support? I mean, there are pastors that are doing this, and I think, and I celebrate them. I celebrate them. As a Christian, if you're in that church that you're not getting help, move to another one. Look for where someone actually cares for you. There are churches where people care. I've been in the one that don't care, and I'm in the one that cares. You understand? Don't just be going to church because you're going to church. You're going to church and you're begging. It's a sin itself. If you're in that church, nobody's asking you, how far? Kekwan? Yeah, they. Báwo ni? Nobody's asking you, ṣé o ti jẹun? Kacha abinchi ni? Irikwa láàrin ta, ìdíkwá sure. Nobody cares. All they know is they'll just see you, dress one kind, come to church, you go, bye-bye. You clean church, you do this, you down, and nobody is helping you. Change church. Change.